Now I went to Edo. We even debated how I should look. Wait. Time. Did I beg to be invited? I'm leaving my national budget to come here. It's a huge price I'm paying. I could lose my allocation. But I think that I really want people to understand this is not ceremony. I'm so sorry.
No, I understand.
I'm so sorry, yeah. In any case, you didn't write me how many minutes I have. And as a senator, you are not at liberty to ask a senator to sit down. 4-year tenure. And if you don't like it, go and contest. It's not easy. Now, I led the NSC in the manner that some of you can remember, and he knows the debate that went into each of those decisions. None of them that I decided alone, but when it has been decided, even the ones I are opposed to, once I'm overruled, we have to do it. And that explains why when President Obasanjo appealed to traditional rulers, the most conservative to the most liberal, to tell their people not to support us, we dismiss it that those traditional rulers are part of the problem. And we organized strife from Sokoto to Maiduguri we didn't have ethnicity, we didn't have religion, we didn't have any of this primordial sentiment, didn't matter, because we are able to explain to the ordinary person. Then at the point Lukman resigned from the NLC, again he was getting more and more in love with his wife, and our work is not the best for good lovers, because you can't predict when you will stay in your house and when you will go to a police station and they put you in a small room without toilet or in front of a toilet. But Mr. Chairman, sir, the area I think Lukman needs to do a review is to ask himself, the advice I can offer in-house, must I offer it outside? There is not one family member here, I dare say, not one, myself inclusive, who can say that in the period of 1 month or 1 year, you don't have some issues within your family. But it is the family tradition that those issues are better discussed quietly within the family and effect correction if anything is not right. There is no family that can succeed if each time you have a different opinion, you take a page in one of the newspapers and expose all the things that are going on in the family. There is no clean family. Every family is trying to clean up and ensure that they maintain, unity, at least before the public. You don't gain when you, particularly in a multi-party democracy where your opponents are watching, you don't gain by writing down or writing off your own organization. I think Lukman seems to have some fun in doing that. When I was chairman of the APC, which is the first time a Nigerian worker who has led workers now ended up being chairman of the ruling party. The first advice Lukman said to me, he knows my house, both in Kaduna and in Abuja. He knows my children knows him. Lukman did not come to me to say, what is going on? I think there are issues here. Instead, he wrote me, maybe you want to document it, he wrote me an email, which he sent through you. Now your moderator today suggests that there are a couple of things I didn't know. And you brought that email to me at my then office before I was sacked. Asset Drive. I read it and I told you, I said, OTV, I don't know you as much as I know Lukman. Because I knew you when they sent you to do registration of APC membership, which was the best exercise we have ever done. I think around 2014.
Can you clap for that?
Or so thereabout. Because you did it transparently. Yes. I said, look, man, I knew him when he was still looking for torchlight to find his way of life. So if he has advice to me, why will he send you? Are you his messenger? I don't know you as much as I know him. I'm sure I told you that.
Yes, you did.
And I called Lukman, I said, why are you sending Otivie to me? He said, hey, could you find my address? So you don't know Aso Drive. Lukman, you don't know my Tama where I live. If you don't know those, you don't know my Kaduna house, somebody is still there. Lukman just wanted another person to read what he said to me.
I didn't read it before I submitted.
Well, if you get a letter that you printed out from your own printer and you gave to me and you close your eyes, you don't even know what it is, so much that you don't even know it was addressed to me, if you didn't read it, how did you know it was addressed to me? But just to say to Lukman today, the world will never be such that everybody will think like you. And how you think is not necessarily perfect. You see the world from your own window. What I see from my own door can be different. But the good news is with conversation, we can reconcile gap in information, we can reconcile gap in suspicion, and we can build trust, which we need to run a voluntary organization. Lukman wrote several letters virtually dismissing my leadership without calling me. So when it happened to him, I said, Lukman, you see, that is why one should ride on the back of a tiger. There's only one destination. You must end up in his belly. Lukman was appointed, all democratically, by the Governors Forum. I wasn't consulted, I was a governor. We were told this is the new DG of APC Governors Forum. But since I know him, I was happy about it. Lukman was there when I wrote a letter, because we are talking about party administration now. When I wrote a letter inviting the governors for a meeting to discuss the guidelines for conducting primaries. Because, as Kabiola said, you can't shave people's head in their absence. Let me know what the thinking of the various interest groups are. I have discussed with the president, I need to discuss with the governors and other stakeholders so that once the guidelines are out, the party can claim ownership of it, because it has been debated. So I wrote to the governors for a meeting. The governor said, no, I should come to Imo House, not APC office. He was at the governor's office, in their guest house where they were holding the office. He didn't see anything wrong with that. And I sat there. The governors has already taken decision because, Chairman, sir, if you have not faced it already, you will face it. The only difference is if the president decides to intervene and moderate, you will be lucky. In my own case, we have a president who was not ready to intervene. The governors summoned me as the chairman of the party to their own preferred venue, not the one that I wrote them. We have an office which the party hired. And one by one, to the hearing of Lukman, they told me they are the generals in the field. They know the terrain. I cannot tell them this. So we're bagging the table. You can't do this. So we're threatening. They could have left the party. I don't know whether they're seeing the party now. And when they finish, I look around the hall. I just want you to understand this game of power and the challenges of eternal democracy in our political parties. I didn't beg to be chairman, but I was honored to be elected as one. And when they finished, I said, I was looking at the ceiling because for a moment I thought I was in a military barrack. Everybody telling me they are the generals in the field. To be honest, Governor Ganduje, you probably know some of this. At the point I said, in anger, but also I meant every word I said. I said, none of you here can lecture me about the power of a governor. Because I have been governor twice, 8 years, uninterrupted. And at the point I told Fayemi, you did the receipt. You were elected. Second term, you lost. That means you failed. And then you wait for a receipt. I did not do a receipt. First term, I passed, I moved to the second term. And you are lecturing me about. Then I can mention some of them. And I said, it is not right that I invite you for a meeting to discuss guidelines. And you are not ready to discuss the guideline. You are back. The man in Ogun State then told me, if not because of the president, he will leave the party. I cannot dictate to him. What is the dictation? To look at these guidelines. And then he suddenly said, Adams, you are working for your paymasters in Lagos, paymasters in Bodleian. So they have this that is not informed by anything. So I am not capable of thinking. Is there any living Nigerian who think I'm a coward? You can accuse me of everything, not being a coward. And I told him, I said, if really I am Bodleian and being paid by Bodleian, they are my paymaster, you, the then governor, I don't want to mention his name, not the correct one, I was your paymaster. And you are not loyal to President Buhari. Because if you are, when Buhari lost election, you ported to APC in search of political greener pastures. You beg Asiwaju to beg Segun Oshoba to accept you when you lost in ANPP. And today you are coming to say you are loyal. What is the manner of loyalty? That is what they call opportunism. I'm sorry, my language is not what you expect, but that is who I am. The truth has to be told if Nigeria must change. And the good thing is that those who are so powerful yesterday, today they are like mushroom. I see them. So power is so transient that nobody should be afraid because somebody is in power. That was how I left that meeting. And in conclusion, since you are delivering the lecture now, they harassed me. Lukman was with the Governors Forum. They had a meeting. They decided that they will tell me who they want to be governor. I will walk to the answer. I will do all formalities, but whoever they want must emerge. And I said, you are talking to a wrong person. I will mortgage neither my office nor the authority of the AWC. I believe, no, not Larry. Larry, you know my accent can be a problem. You were there. I said, you can take the job, and I will keep my conscience. But I will not mortgage my conscience to keep the job. If it pleases you to take it, take it. And they took it. That day, they were all proud of me. They thought I said, I will not mortgage those powers vested in the National Working Committee. While we are battling for eternal democracy, Lukman will pick a pen and write that Oshiomole's NWC is useless, is this, is this, is this. Meanwhile, he has not attended any of this meeting. He was siding with those dictators. He was siding with them because they were his paymaster. Then, of course, they sacked me. They brought in a caretaker. He was happy. He called it the New Hope. Now with the new caretaker. How can a Democrat like Lukman, who was doing alternative democracy, riding buses to Lagos in the night, describe an unlawful removal through Zoom without discussion? And the chairman who summoned this meeting was somebody who had resigned to contest election. He has not seek re-election to return to the AWC. Overnight, he was elevated to chairman. For what purpose? To convey an illegal meeting so that my NWC can be dissolved. And Lukman find this heavy. He called it a new beginning. These are facts. They are stubborn because they are in black and white. And I said to myself, don't forget, before then, he tried to get rid of me. In our APC constitution, Lukman has a copy. It says to remove a ward executive, not even ward chairman, any member of the ward, 2/3 of the 25 members or 27 members must vote in favor, 2/3. Otherwise, you cannot remove a ward chairman or a ward executive. I was removed, quote and unquote, by 8 members as national chairman. And on the basis of that, they couldn't get it done. You know, Larry, that I had more than 2/3 signatories endorsing my leadership, including the speaker, senators, sub-governors, NEC members, state chairmen. But because they couldn't do it legally, they went to World Justice Senchi. I'm sorry, I have to call the name. Everybody's right is history by his own action. And injunction was granted, interim. And then I went for an appeal, which I regretted because I spent so much money on that. In the end, I said, what was I defending? And the Court of Appeal granted the stay. Then some people went back to work. The Court of Appeal called us back 2 weeks later and removed the stay, used another panel. As soon as that was done, one man who had left, resigned, was reported in as acting chairman overnight. One day chairman, he convened a meeting at which Oshiomole was dismissed. And Mr. Chairman, sir, that was on the 18th. I had covered half of the month. My salary and allowances were not paid. Till today, but I'm sure the new chairman will pay the allowance because debts never expire. I did not grant debt forgiveness, nor have I forfeited it, but I was oppressed, and I left. And I said, this is where principle come in. I will not go to court. Because in my union studies, we learned early in life, the court gives judgment. Trade unions and civil society, they fight for justice. The two are not the same. What is right in the eyes of the law may be very offensive in the eyes of very ordinary people who want fairness and social and economic justice, not legal justice. So I refuse to go to court. But my point was, Lukman didn't find pen nor ink to say that this manner of removing is unfair. So he celebrated the caretaker. The caretaker came in, they cleared the account, all the money we left in the bank, over it, they cleared it, and then they were doing some other things, and then they developed their own ambition. Then Lukman started spelling it right, because he too now has been isolated. What goes around? To my credit, which Lukman refused to comment on. Mr. Chairman, sir, when I became the chairman of APC, I felt that to talk about party supremacy should go beyond giving people platform. It is on record that some governors today of APC, they were to be funded by contribution from other governors, where we don't have APC. Larry, you know, our NWC, for which I am ever proud, and I'm happy you've gotten an appointment. At least that shows that the man they wanted to deal with is now in charge to deal with any of them he wasn't to. They are now applicants before him. We took APC money, party money. That's what we were talking about, who paid the pipers. Nobody paid us. No governor contributed money to us. We managed our resources without going cap in hand. From those resources, we summoned the CBA governor when I was told 5 days to the end of the tenure that the governors have reneged on their promise to support governors, states where we don't have governors. We sent almost 600 million to Kwara to reinforce Otoge, and I'm happy that we wipe out Saraki and all the people. 800 million naira. Not loan, grant from APC Treasury. We even refunded the money, 220 million. The other candidate contributed to contest against the current governor. Because for us, it was a battle that must be fought and won. And we knew that we must put our money where we are putting our mouth. Ogun, the governor who was rebelling against the party, thought that he would use money. We raised 800 million from APC account and supported that governor. And I'm happy he won. Hope Uzodinma, we supported him, and I'm happy he won. None of these got is for between 500 and 600. Taraba, we gave. Somehow, we lost that one. But just to say, the APC that we led, that Lukman was so criticizing, Lukman never identified or amplified the fact that we now have a party that is contributing money to support those who are running election on his platform. Not one. If you know everything that is bad, can't you at least find one thing that is good? All the senators, 109 of them, we decided to give each of them 20 million naira to support their campaign. Every member of the House of Representatives, 360, including the desk speaker, we gave them 10 million to support their campaign. So that when we say party supremacy, they know we not only gave them money, we did not only campaign for them, we also funded them. Lukman never finds space to write any of these innovations. Nobody did it before us, and nobody had done it after I left. If anything, the people that took over under the one that said Ketika, they raised more than 2 times resources that we raised. And they paid themselves, I don't know where the party secret, but just to say that we managed our resources. No governor contributed money, but there was no month we didn't pay salary. And I just want to say that Lukman, is good to have courage. It even takes courage to eat food that you didn't cook. Because you have to assume that the person who cooked it means well. I think it's good in every system to have someone like you who will harass, but to do so, it should be done with a view to correction. Because when you see elders, it doesn't matter what you think. There are things that grows with age. So when you write increasingly about the leadership recruitment process, the leadership recruitment process is faulty. What did I ask myself? Where did Lukman study political party management? Was he ever chairman of a ward? Was he ever chairman of a local government? But he became vice chairman of Northwest, the largest geopolitical zone. So what is the leadership recruitment process? I just want Lukman to know that it's good to have courage. But the courage must enable you to know what you can discuss in-house and what you can write, you can publish. Larry, many a times we had our frustrations, but we will say this is not for the press. Because in going to the press, are we asking PDP to come and help us? Or the flash of the pan called something to come and help us? So I don't want to say keep writing, Lukman, but make a distinction between what you can go to the chairman. You don't even need to go to the chairman because there should be some hierarchy, but if he is free, you can go to him. Or what you can discuss with your zonal rep, share your consign, but besides sharing consign, profile solutions. That is what I consider constructive criticism. Nigerians like writing off Nigeria as a nation. Or they go to Canada and they find themselves inside tent during winter. And they say, so Canada is not all that they see on CNN. No country, no organization that doesn't have problem. But it takes courageous men and women to know how to consult in-house, and when it is impossible, to go to Wuse Market, the way Obasanjo and Atiku did, where they couldn't manage whether Obasanjo should be president, whether Atiku will allow him or not, and then they start telling us how they share money from a petroleum equalization fund. This was done at Wuse Market. He said, no, you bought a car for your girlfriend. No, so, no, I didn't buy. You are the one who suggested it. These are fun. If they are not convenient, me, I will say it because I've said so even when he was still in office. I want to thank you for your courage, but even the courage of the chairman and the founding chairman for attending, because most people will say, if you read that book, it's not flattering. They are coming here, shows that even your judgment on Ganduje is faulty. Because if he's a narrow-minded person, he will attend a book written by somebody who was opposed to him. So whatever we want to say in Nigeria, men and women of goodwill are much more than the few rascals who might create problems for us. May you continue to write, but write differently, and do conversation more when the doors are closed, without recording. That might give you better results. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy that even though I missed my appropriation today, if the allocation to your state is not complete, you cause it. Thank you very much.
Can we give him another round of applause? Issa Remu, your name was mentioned in